Hi there, very good morning. Welcome back to ET Now. You're watching Market Café with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Srishti Sharma. Over the next 1 hour, we'll take you through all the global and domestic cues that you must watch out for and also tell you about the stocks that you must keep on your radar today. But first up, with an eye on the globe, let's get started with what has happened on the Federal Reserve front, which has delivered its third rate cut of the year of 25 basis points. But the decision exposed the deepest divisions within the central bank since 2019. Now, the vote split of 9-3, with two regional presidents opposing any cut and Governor Stephen Moran arguing for a sharper half-point move. Now, Chair Jerome Powell has called it a close call, emphasizing that the Fed is now firmly in wait-and-see mode and effectively ruling out any prospect of a rate hike over there. In a surprise liquidity signal, the Fed will restart Treasury purchases beginning with $40 billion tomorrow, and it also expects elevated buying for the next few months. Now, Powell also pinned much of the inflation overshoot on the administration's tariffs, calling them one-time price shock. For now, the Fed is signaling one rate cut in 2026. In fact, let's first up listen in to what Jerome Powell had to say.
The committee decided to lower the target range for the federal funds rate by a quarter percentage point to 3.5 to 3.75%. In the near term, risks to inflation are tilted to the upside and risks to employment to the downside, a challenging situation. There is no risk-free path for policy as we navigate this tension between our employment and inflation goals. A reasonable base case is that the effects of tariffs on inflation will be relatively short-lived, effectively a one-time shift in the price level.
And Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says that he wants to hand over the reins with the economy on solid footing, inflation heading back to 2% and a strong labor market firmly intact. His comments come as political pressure intensifies.
All right, let's also look at what Trump said after this Federal Reserve rate cut. Now, minutes after the latest quarter-point cut, he blasted the move as rather small and insisting the Fed could have at least doubled the reduction, and calling Powell a stiff. He confirmed that he will interview former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh and Kevin Hassett as contenders to replace Powell when his next term ends.
Growth doesn't mean inflation. They're always afraid that, oh, we have... And if there is inflation, that's okay, then we can slow it down. But we should be able to do a lot better than 3 and 4. We're scheduled to be at 4%, which is pretty amazing because we have a deadhead Fed hair. I mean, this guy, the head of the Federal Reserve is a stiff. And, you fight that. It's amazing. We fight that, and yet interest rates are going down, except with him, not too much. He did a rather, I would say, a rather small number that could have been double, at least double. And that's the other thing. I think the rates for the United States are always the lowest in the world because without us, there is no world.
All right, so